Hey everyone, and welcome back to Timeless. People ask me what's the best deck, what's my favorite, what's the good build? It's still this one. It's still Mardu Energy. This is still my favorite deck to play. Still the top two deck in the format alongside Show and Tell, and the build hasn't changed that much, but I do want to go over the updated state of the deck and go ahead and run some games with it this season. The main deck is almost exactly the same as we've always had. It is the 9 main deck hyper efficient removal spells. We have 11 incredibly strong 1-drops, backed up by the usual 12 2-drops and 2 copies of Juggernaut Peddler, and these 5 enchantments over here. The one change I did make to the main deck is I went from 3 copies of Nightmare and 2 copies of Bombardment up to 3 copies of Bombardment and 2 copies of Nightmare. These spots are pretty flexible with how you want to split it, and even though Nightmare is one of my favorite cards, and it's probably my favorite card in this deck, I think Bombardment is so much stronger right now. This deck's strength really comes from having some degenerate goldfish lines where you can legitimately win games against unfair decks before they do their unfair combo thing. And one of the best ways for you to do that is have the Ajani into Goblin Bombardment line, where you're flipping your Ajani very early as turn 3, and then you could turn your whole board into damage to get turn 4 kills very consistently if you get both Ajani and Goblin Bombardment in play. So I'm very happy to play 3 copies of this over the Chthonian Nightmare, even though I think Nightmare is still very strong. It's especially strong with Luris. I'm setting up the deck like this right now. No changes to the mana base. We're still on, I believe, 21 lands. Yes, 21. And we have 2 Surveil lands in the deck. We got the 1 Parlor, the 1 Theater. Onto the sideboard, it's pretty similar, but I did make some changes. Before we had 4 Thoughtseizes, and I turned 2 of those Thoughtseizes into Peddlers. So we're just running the 4-2 split in the other direction for discard. I think Peddler is very strong in the meta right now, especially with Shift and Tell becoming a very legitimate deck in the meta. This is really what you want Juggernaut Peddler for. The fact that you get to permanently exile the card from your opponent's hand is so much stronger. It's great against any sort of reanimation strat, and of course great against Shift and Tell, because that deck absolutely will kick your ass. It's even worse than the Show and Tell matchup, because they play 4 Ugin's Binding and just bounce your board randomly. But if you see the Ugin's Binding in their hand, you could just get rid of it. It doesn't even go to their graveyard, which is where they want it to be anyway. Same with Omniscience. You see an Omniscience in their hand, it's just exiled. It doesn't go to the graveyard so that it can be copied by Shifting Woodlands. It is just gone forever. As for Graveyard Hate, I think in previous versions of the deck I had just 2 Hearses. Right now we're playing 1 Hearse and 2 Surgical Extractions. Surgical is really strong in the meta right now. There's a lot of people casting the card Reanimate. There's occasional BO1 lists if you're a BO1 gamer that plays Arclight Phoenix and those kinds of cards that occasionally will show up in BO3, but most importantly, Shift and Tell that I just mentioned. This is a great way to get them at instant speed. So playing this plus Hearse is a good way to keep the graveyard on lockdown. But against other fair decks, you're probably just bringing in the 1 Hearse and leaving these Surgicals out. I have 2 extra removal spells here. This used to be 2 Sun Cleansers, but I'm recently become more of the school of thought that in the energy mirror, the Sun Cleanser just might as well be another removal spell. So that's what I've been doing lately. We have another Swords to Plowshares, and then I'm playing 1 Prismatic Ending just kind of as a catch-all. If you don't have this Mythic, you can just go ahead and play Swords instead. They're pretty analogous to each other. You could also maybe play Lightning Bolt in this slot. I personally do like the card in this slot to be Swords to Plowshares specifically and Prismatic Ending because they can answer Sun Cleanser, because as much as I'm not playing Sun Cleanser, other people are gonna play it, and it can still be really strong against some of your hands, though it's not totally and completely killer. Like it used to be when this deck was running Unstable Amulet, but there's still a lot of different cards in the deck that are neutered by it, and I think my mouse ran out of battery live. I'll be right back. Okay, last bits of the sideboard, we have 2 Pithing Needle as a bit of a catch-all against combo decks. These have always been here, and I don't think we're going to be swapping them out for anything else anytime soon. We're running specifically Needle over the Flute, just because it is 1 mana, and that mana difference matters a lot in this aggro deck, where we want to be as mana efficient as possible, and I value that a lot more than the extra utility that the Flute brings. And we have 3 copies of Bauble. I mentioned it before, that Show and Tell / Shift and Tell are decks that are going to beat us up, and it is the deck that we are looking to beat, so we are bringing yet another hate piece for them. I really do not mind devoting half my sideboard for Show and Tell. I mean, a lot of these cards are versatile. Thoughtseize and Juggernaut Peddlers come in against a lot of stuff, but these baubles are pretty much just for that matchup. And in that matchup, we bring in, what, the 3 baubles, the 2 surgicals, usually the Hearst if it's Shift and Tell. Well, if it's Shift and Tell, we bring in surgicals and Hearst. For just Show and Tell, we probably don't. Juggernaut Peddlers and Thoughtseizes. So for Show and Tell, that's 7 sideboard cards. For Shift, that's 10. Actually, we could bring in Needles against Shift as well. That is a good 12. And we do have all of these sideboard or these removal spells to sideboard out in those matchups, so I don't mind having extras. We also usually sideboard out the nightmares because we don't need the grindiness when we're up against those decks. It's either we stop them or we don't. All right, that's about it for me. Let's go ahead and get to the gameplay, show off the deck in action. All right, we're going to be on the play against Brioche. Looks like they have a Gigantha, so I'm thinking that they're on a Gigantha energy build, but we got Guide of Souls into Amp Chapter, one of the best starts you could ask for. We don't have Black Mana Insight, but we have plenty of things to do until we start worrying about that problem. And we're on the play, of course, which always makes me excited to keep the Guide of Souls hand. Let's go ahead and shock in, play our Guide on turn 1. Next turn, we're probably just playing basic Amp Raptor, but if they do literally nothing, we might want to think about not playing Raptor, especially if we do end up drawing a black source for the Bowmasters. I hope it's an energy mirror. That would be really sweet for the video. Guide of Souls, nice. Great, so 2 options here. We can just play the Amp Raptor and hope we hit a removal spell, or we can take some time off and discharge their Guide of Souls to make sure their game plan doesn't start. If we didn't draw this Ocelot Pride, I'd be really tempted to play Raptor, but since we drew this Ocelot Pride and it lets us saturate our mana and use all of our mana efficiently, I'm definitely going to go ahead and take out their Guide. Go ahead and hit him. Get another cat, get another energy. Looking good so far. Great, Ether Hub and an Amp Raptor coming through. That's good for them. They will hit a Ragavan, sure. I would love to hit my black source right now for the Bowmasters. Ooh, that's an interesting choice. Do you want second Guide? Guide would kind of go crazy, but I am super interested in double spelling. Think about that. That's a pretty decent consideration. We can do these 2 together. The thing is, I really don't have a great target for the prison. I can block Ragavan so easily that I don't care about it. I think we're just going to play Amp Raptor and take our double spell while we can. I think 1 Guide is getting the job done here. Okay, we got a static prison anyway. We'll take it since it's a free gift. It does cost us energy upkeep, but we can decide later that we don't want to play that. Let's go ahead and fly our Ocelot Pride. Since they're tapped out, we don't have to worry about like an Orcish Bowmaster killing that in response or any other removal spell killing that in response. So it looks like we are ahead by a lot right now. It's awesome. Next turn we can play at minimum another Guide of Souls followed up by a Static Prison and then pay the 3 energy multiple times to fly something, which should pretty much seal up the game. Arena of Glory does tell me that they're the Flage version of energy. You can kind of guess that just by them having Gigantha. That's the real reason to go Gigantha over Loris. We're definitely going to want our Unlicensed Hearses and Graveyard Heat after we sideboard. Alright, Flage coming through. That can hit my Ocelot Pride or my Guide. Sure. Wait, and are they close to Flage? No, they only have 3 cards in Graveyard, so they're not super close. Let's go ahead and keep paying. I can Static Prison to get rid of this, but I think what I should do is I should just play Guide of Souls. It would make the difference on City's Blessing, which is interesting, and it would let me attack with everything. And since we are on the beatdown, let's go ahead and get rid of their threat. Go ahead and attack them. Let's put some counters on a cat. Hit my opponent for a bunch. City's Blessing trigger, we get 2 cats. Nice, so my opponent's at 7, and they do need to think of a way out of this. Flage is not it. They can't escape it yet. Another Flage from hand would just take them to 10 HP, and we can hit them for more than 10. Yeah. Nice game 1. So when we're sideboarding in this mirror match, we don't want the discard. We do want the Unlicensed Hearse for Flage. I think it's really, really strong. We do want the extra removal spells, and sometimes I even think about bringing in a Surgical for Flage, because usually in the mirror, I used to have 2 hearses, and I felt like that was an appropriate amount of cards to deal with Flage. Maybe you want to bring in Surgical? That's a little bit lost in the sauce. So when we're on the draw, I'm going to take out Ragavans. On the play, we're going to put in Ragavans for Bowmasters. This is going to be my plan. We want to keep all the other cards because they're really exceptional in the mirror. Do I really want Surgical for Flage? Because it's kind of my lose condition. I think on the draw, I will say yes, I want one of them. And I do want 2 Graveyard Hate spells for Flage. Because Flage is legitimately the best card in this matchup. I can tell you after playing God knows how many energy bears that the player who has Flage or sticks Flage the first generally ends up winning the game. And we're coming in super disadvantaged because we don't even have the card in our deck. Oh, is that another double Guide of Souls hand? So we're not on the play with our Guide of Souls, but hey, we still got 2 of them. So, ooh, and drawing another white fetch is good too. So next turn we could either do Guide of Souls, removal spell, or, you know, just Raptor. Well, the world's our oyster, but our only real option on turn 1 is to jam the Guide of Souls. I'm going to go ahead and get black-white just because we have a basic mountain in our hand already for the red source. And then next turn, we're definitely going to fetch another white here, probably red-white. Here comes Amp Raptor coming through. They will hit a Flage and get to take out my guide, unfortunately. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a Johnny. Great, we went ahead and drew a white source for him. That's nice. They're just going to play a Johnny. They're going to want a removal spell for him ASAP. If they don't have it, we do get to block a bunch, or we do get to prevent them from attacking a bunch. Because if they attack, my cat will die, I flip my Ajani. My opponent does need a removal spell to come through here, otherwise we're threatening to do something really powerful. They don't know I'm holding a red permanent in hand, but when you're playing an energy mirror, you don't just let Ajani flip for free, unless you have something like a Flage that's going to kill it. Looks like they're looking at my Ajani and probably taking the time to kill it. Maybe, maybe not. They are restricted to colorless mana here because they spent all 3 energy that they had on Amp Raptor last turn. That's why I don't play Hub. Hub can enable some really nice turn 2s with Raptor casting a 3-drop, but more often than not, it ends up consuming more energy than it makes, and it makes the game a little awkward as it goes on. Opponent's in the tank. You will be passing after tanking for just a little bit. That's cool. So here we have some options. We could do Guide of Souls into Bowmaster. We could do Guide of Souls into Raptor. I do love the idea of Guide of Souls into Bowmaster. I'm just going to play Guide of Souls first and see what my opponent thinks. What do we think, opponent? Are we thinking? Are we using that brainstem or not? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and attack with the cat. They're going to let it through. That's cool with me. So we can play Raptor right now, take a free spell, or we can play Bowmasters to kill their Raptor, perhaps even kill my Cat Warrior to flip a Johnny. That would be really funny. I think we're going to do Bowmasters here. Just because if Amped Raptor hits a removal spell, there's no like really premium target for the removal spell. Getting rid of this is nice, but it's not necessary. The next turn we're going to untap with enough energy to fly something, which is really cool. We fly our little army token that we don't care that much about. We're just waiting for them to do something to use this Bowmasters. We could use it defensively really cute to flip our Ajani by killing this. We could just use it to kill their Raptor in combat. We could use it to kill whatever they play. Ugh, Sun Cleanser. Sure. It's not the end of the world because we do have Static Prison. They're looking at my Ajani. I think they want to flip him. Or they want to kill him so he doesn't flip. I want to flip him. Raptor coming through. I'm going to take the damage because I have a Guide of Souls in play. I don't care too much about my life total. I trust them to not have a removal spell here. A little sus here. I want to do the greedy thing. Oh, they didn't get priority. I'm going to flip it. Okay, nice. They don't have a removal spell to mess with this. I get to flip my Johnny here. Okay. And then right here, we get the Static Prison, the Sun Cleanser. It works. Because how this ability is worded, it exiles first and then adds the energy. So it works. Amp Raptor coming through. Bombardment. Oh my god. Now we get to go off. Surveil real quick. I love removal spells.
Let fury ignite your heart.
Yeah, let's go ahead and fly this little token. So if you're wondering how I was like so confident of being able to flip my Ajani, it's because when I flashed in my Bowmasters, I noticed that Arena didn't give my opponent priority. Like they did not have an instant to blow me out by shooting my Ajani in response. So I felt really confident there. I'm not worried about this Raptor because we could just ping it down with Goblin Bombardment if it does somehow become a problem. I can't imagine it becoming a problem, but if something threatens my Ajani, we could just ping. If something like a Flage in hand, they can of course kill my Ajani the fairway. Ugh, that card. I'm going to lose all of my energy and they're going to get their Sun Cleanser back. I think we just let this resolve. We don't get too much of a choice here, unfortunately. So all suns must set. We lose all the energy. The thing is, this trigger resolves no matter what, which means that my energy goes away no matter what, even if I were to like kill this in response to the trigger, which means they're getting another Sun Cleanser no matter what. So I think we're just going to fight through it. Alright, and my opponent here is going to go for my Bombardment. Nice. This is a card that just Fs up the mirror match. Like, this card is so nasty. But is it really better than Ajani? Yeah. Ajani is beyond nasty. Alright, my turn. So we can hold up swords here. You get your thing back. That's fine. Yeah. I lose my counters. They can pull counters off of creatures, by the way. Don't tell them. Do not tell them. Oh, they know. Nice job, opponent. So, read this. Yeah, remove all counters from target creature. This would just turn it into a 0/0, so let's do that. Maybe could have pinged the Amp Raptor instead. A little tricky, huh? A little tricky. So we were in the driver's seat, now we've been slowed down a lot. I think we might just want to remove both of these Sun Cleansers. We'll see what our opponent's up to over the next few turns. They do need to find energy to pay for this prison. But what we could do is we could Swords one Sun Cleanser, play Luris, Static Prison the other, and then we're back to making energy, which would enable us to fly things with the Guide of Souls, which would enable us to attack for lethal. That's what I'm thinking about, right? My opponent has a Flage in their graveyard, though, which is very scary to me. This is just a scary card. I think here we just take the damage. We could, of course, trade something. Yeah, we could, of course, trade something. Maybe I should have. Go ahead and do that. You know what we could also do with Luris is, for example, loop Bowmaster, sack Bowmaster to Goblin Bombardment, replay it off of Luris, but I just had a better idea of what I could do with my Luris. Let's see who had the same idea that I did. Let's do this. Here's my idea. It's even better. We don't need energy where we're going. We're going to Static Prison. And we're going to Static Prison the... Solidify your guesses. Static Prison. And then we're going to flip our Ajani with Bombardment. We're going to let the extra cat token get generated first. Just so that we have one more way to flip Ajani so we don't get blown out by removal. Yeah, we don't get energy here, but who cares? To battle, as they say.
A dark plot ties our fates together.
Right, and this should be lethal. They could have a removal spell for Amp Raptor in response to prevent... Actually, no, we still have Goblin Bombardment as a red permanent, so does not matter here. What you doing there with the Bowmasters? I don't think they have a way to interfere with this. They need to remove both my red permanents, and they could, of course, remove Raptor with Bowmasters. But they can't remove Bombardment easily. Share in my vengeance. And we'll just do the honors here. Right, opponent? You're gonna let me do the honors? All right, that's a great way to start the video. Big win and a big mirror match. In game 2, we're up against Tony, High Rank Gaming. Unfortunately, we can't keep this. I also know Tony plays Shift and Tell, or has been playing it a obscene amount lately, so 4 removal spells is not the way to go against that. Is this the way to go against that? I only have like 2 main deck discard spells that are very good against him, so I don't think I'm supposed to like mulligan to them. I think we go ahead and keep this. We hope we draw a land. We're on the draw, so it's possible, so we can hopefully flip our Johnny naturally like this. We're going to get rid of the card that is going to be slowest and grindiest. And we do have Ragavan, who's going to connect a couple of times. He's mostly here to generate... No! Dude, check his PC. Oh my god. Alright. Stifle Gaming. The rank 10 player showing us how it's done. Oh, that was bad. He's better than me, guys. He's better than me. That's why he's rank 10. I'm rank 112. I gotta be registering Stifle. I've run into this guy so many times on ladder, by the way, because, you know, we're both usually up there in Mythic. I give them this game, right? And he loves playing Stifle. It's like his pet card. He always puts it in the decks, and he's the only person I see running Stifle to success. Every other person who runs Stifle is like 82% Mythic. Not a good look. But this guy, he's up there with it. Good news. He didn't really see what I was playing. Bad news. I'm sure if I recognize him, he probably recognizes me and is going to guess I'm on energy. So this is the matchup we have a gazillion sideboard cards for. So what I like to do is I take out the removal, take out the Nightmare, because we really shouldn't be grinding against them. So we keep our creature core, and then we go ahead and play creature removal spell. We go ahead and play Unlicensed Terrace, Vexing Bauble, Pithing Needle to name Woodland, and Surgical Extraction. And that's going to leave us with one more slot. So it's flexible. Do we want Thoughtseize? Do we want Swords? Do we want Static Prison? I'm going to take Thoughtseize here, but it is a bit flexible which one you want. It seems like kind of intuitive that you would want all of the Thoughtseizes against combo, and that this is your best card against combo, but this is a combo deck that leverages their graveyard. Thoughtseizing them is not always useful. I'd rather have Peddler. That's where we're playing 4 of him specifically. But I don't think it's worth taking out another creature to squeeze another Thoughtseize into the deck, is what I'm trying to say. It's also not worth taking out Bombardment, because this enables our fastest lines. Right, we're going to be on the play. I'm not getting stifled. I will not get stifled. I will not get stifled. I will not get stifled. Is this a good enough hand? Oh, it's going to be so slow against him, right? I need to, like, Goldfish here. This is tough because we do have Guide of Souls into Ocelot Pride if things work out, and we're holding all these baubles, so we could just put them into play off of Show and Tell. I wish it would add slightly better mana. I'm going to keep this again, and I will just kneel to the Stifle King if I get mana screwed 2 games in a row, I guess. I like keeping this off of the strength of Vexing Bauble and the fact that if they cast the card Show and Tell, this goes into play. I'll go ahead and Surveil here. I need second mana, so anything else goes into the graveyard, unfortunately. And even if we don't hit it, we just go 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop on our first few turns. I don't know if this is a good keep, guys. Alright, you know, we're fine. Stifle me, stifle me, stifle me. Oh my god, he's got it again? Guys, I need his deck. Someone give me this list. I gotta play it. I need to become the Stifle Gamer. I want to get Stifle Gaming. Stifle this. Stifle the life gain. Okay, he didn't do it. It would have kept me off of getting a token, which is quite useful. Alright, Brainstorm Gaming coming through instead. Yeah, I do not mind losing to this guy. He's cooking with Stifle. I need to try out his version of Shift. I wonder if anybody has it. Also, if anybody's got this guy's Discord, give it to me. I'd like it from the source, please. But if anybody else has his list, I'll definitely play it. It looks like a blast. Alright, another Ocelot Pride coming through. The Goldfish is being initiated, if not a little delayed by all these counter spells and stifles that are coming through. Wondering? Yeah, you got it. Alright, they have protection from everything, so we can't Thoughtseize them. with nothing better to do with our turn and our mana, I think it's going to be a good idea to play this Bauble. Is Toxic Deluge a card they can have? No, it seems like they're just Simic, so they're not going to really have cards for us. Just Ugin's Binding. I was thinking about whether or not I should pump something. Spend a 3 energy and attack. I don't think so. What we got going on over there? Ugin's Binding? I had to guess. Another ring, yeah. Another ring, a bit of discarding. When you know, it's Omniscience. Alright, Amp Raptor, please hit on Licensed Curse. I need you. I need you to do it, okay? No shot! Oh, better! Oh, never mind. My bobble. Alright, we lose, by the way. I'm fucking around. I'm just messing around. He gets to copy Omniscience here, and maybe it's a win, maybe it's a lose. You would think he'd win if he has a way to answer this bobble and then copy it up. But if we have attackers, we're good. It's fine that our Amp Raptor thing got countered because, like, legitimately, I just need 10 power on board in order to kill Tony over here. That's so funny. We did hit the card that we needed, and we couldn't cast it. Ugh. One of the silly things about Magic. Alright, Tony, you have an Omniscience, but I have a bottle. Tony. Stifle? Dude, this guy's better than me. Are you, oh, let's check my camera. Are you guys seeing this shit? He's better! Oh, what the fuck? Give me my creatures back. You seeing this shit? I'm so glad this is going to YouTube. Oh my god. Look at this shit. I love Timeless. I love this format. I love this guy. And his stifle gaming. Motherfucker stifled my Vexling bottle. Alright, GG. Oh, no fucking way. I got him twice in a row. Oh my god. The final boss. I don't know if I could do this again, guys. What do I do? Guys, what do I do? I don't know. Cope? Cry? I keep this hand and I cry. Oh my god. Ah, 2 in a row. Let's just stifle me, man. Just do it. I did wait until his turn like a good citizen to make sure my thing resolved. I'm gonna go ahead and play this tapped. No, just kidding. We're gonna Bloodstained Mire and fetch again on his turn. And then we'll play this Unstifleable next turn. Dude, this fucker, he always gets me. I need his deck list. I want to try it. It looks so fun. Okay. Surveil with black. Okay, Petal. That's great, actually. I'm gonna Petal next turn and Bowmasters first. Just because they could pretty clearly have Counterspell mana here. Like, they chose not to play anything with 4 mana. I'm sure they have a One Ring or some other card that they want to play. So we're gonna Bowmaster first, then Peddler, and that way at least one will resolve. That's my thinking, at least. We're gonna go and attack here, right? I'm too crazy about it. Then I would love a Juggernaut. Oh, wait, it just resolved? Huh. So because they have 2 Omnis, I think we're gonna take Dig instead. What a weird hand he kept. Yeah, and since I know that they don't have Stifle, we're gonna do it now. Those go to the graveyard, of course. And yeah, we're just trying to dead them. Unfortunately, we only have 4 power in play. Getting stifled hurts sometimes. Also, we're going to have a Juggernaut hitting the battlefield, which is just comical. We're going to play Amped Raptor first, because we might hit a removal spell off of it. And then if not, we're just going to discharge this out of the way. We could have maybe dashed Ragavan instead and discharged, but I love the 2-for-1 opportunity. Ooh, Nightmare. Doesn't do anything right now. We need something to die. But something certainly can die. 1, 2, 3. Get out of my way. And then we can loot Peddler once we get something into my graveyard, which we could do with Goblin Bombardment. So we're almost there, guys. Okay, One Ring? Sure. Alright, I got a Bowmaster in play. I'm coming for you, man. So we can't peddle them anything, unfortunately. And I think here, it's going to be pretty good to just Static Prison this One Ring. We have this other Static Prison. We doing this now? Yeah, let's max out our power and toughness on board. Let's do this now. What's really interesting is I could shoot my own Juggernaut Peddler here, but I don't think I need to kill my own stuff when I'm holding a bombardment, right? So we're going to have enough power to attack them next turn. Tony just needs to set up something good. He does have a Polluted Delta here. He also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana in play, so he can't hard cast Omniscience, but man, I did need to count to make sure. The most he can get next turn is 9 if he has Ugin's Labyrinth plus Eldrazi. Are we gonna beat him game 1? That would be really dope. It's not very likely that we could beat this deck game 1 before we bring in like our 10 different sideboard cards. Alright, my man is fetching. And Brains, sure. I mean, that's fine. So they do get to draw 2 cards here, for whatever that's worth. I'm going to attack with Juggernaut Peddler because he's a little upset about this situation. Alright, so we get a few more pings. So my opponent is kind of dead on board, which is cool. Even if they, like, bounce this, we're still going to be able to kill them with Bombardment or Dashed Monkey. This guy's too good at Magic. Will you bounce and replay your own ring? Well, he is too good. I want to be as good as Tony one day. How do I learn? How do I learn to be as good as Tony? Is there a way? I'm really tempted to shoot my own thing. Okay, so what we do have here is Goblin Bombardment, which means that we can kill Tony in his upkeep. Thank God, right? Alright, man. This is the end of you. What you got here? They could have a Stifle, but they're also taking 1 ring damage, so they would need 2 Stifles here. Come on. Flinch. Actually, I'll let them take the 1 ring damage before I ping them again, just in case they think about drawing some cards off of it. What you doing? You may draw. I will be holding full control here because I need to respond to all of my triggers. Because you can ping him individually for each of these. Okay, yeah, Threshold coming through. I think we're screwing around now. I think he's dead no matter what. Okay, my god. Alright, took a game off of Tony. This is a fun video. I'm having fun, guys. You guys having fun? What did we do last time? All the removal spells out. Nightmare out too. Take some psychic damage. Hearse, Surge, Bobble. Just don't cast Surgical when you have a Bobble out. Needle, Thoughtseize? Yeah, just don't Amp Raptor or cast Surgical when you have a Bobble out. Don't forget about it. Okay. We don't have sideboard cards, but we have a Monkey. We also have unstifleable land drops, which I find comical. Is this good enough to beat Tony? We have what, like 12 sideboard cards we brought in? I think we should mulligan until we see one of them. All right, that's two. That's good enough for me. I want to put back this stifleable land, and I'm not even joking. I'm not effing around. We're going to put back the Arid Mesa so we don't get stifled. All right, Tony also mulligan to 4. Or to 6, sorry. I'm losing it, guys. I can only play so many energy versus shift and tell matches before I lose my mind. Oh. Alright, monkey. And next turn we'll double spell. I think we'll do Amp Raptor first and then Bobble. Or maybe and then Needle. Ooh, I want to see your hand, but let's attack you first. Ah, that's a good card. Right, let's see what's in that hand. And then we can decide do we want to play Bobble, do we want to play Needle. I think we're going to hold off on Bobble. Ooh. Find. You know what? I'm going to name the One Ring here. Am I going to name the One Ring here? No, I'll let them play it and activate it. Oh, but my mana efficiency. I want to play Amp Raptor next turn. Yeah, we'll name the One Ring here. They're pretty far off of assembling the Shifting Woodland thingamajiggy. I've been wrong before. They have 4 mana for a ring, so they could definitely slam it right now. I hope that's not incorrect and that I wasn't just supposed to name Woodland anyway. Oh, you're gonna Odawara it? Show and tell me? Sure thing, buddy. Have a Bobble. No! I can't beat that card. Wait, since when does Shift and Tell play Atraxa? It's since this guy started playing it is the answer. Since we started playing Toady Shift and Tell. I don't think we could beat this, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think my deck beats Resolved Atraxa. We took out Swords to Plowshares. Right? They just have it? I think they just have it. I took out my removal. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't think so. I think I'd rather have Thoughtseize than have these. So Static Prison is pretty good. But what's the cut, boys? If you were me, what are you cutting for Static Prison? Don't say Monkey, I like him. Maybe you cut Needle for it? Nah. I think my sideboarding's good here. Let's run it back. And this time let's be on the play, and that'll be the deciding factor. Alright, not the greatest hand that God ever created, but it's fine. It's unstifleable. I don't care if my 4th land drop gets stifled. Actually, yeah, this is fine. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing to write home about, but it's totally fine. I shouldn't complain about this. We are gonna like Blind Needle to start. Dude, this guy's deck is too good. You Needle Woodland, he just show and tells. You Needle Ring, he just does Woodland. Oh my god. Do we even want to do the Blind Needle? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Surveil while he can't stifle me. That seems like a fine idea. The Ruckus coming through. No thank you. They get to Devour, fix their draw. I think next turn we're jamming Amp Raptor no matter what, because pretty much anything we hit is going to be good. Hopefully hit a sideboard card. The one that wouldn't be good is Surgical. We'll figure that out. And it's 2 copies of Surgical, and every other hit is amazing. So I think we're still playing Raptor. We would, of course, flash out Bowmasters, but it would be the most telegraphed flash out in human history. Because we got a shock here to play around his Stifle. You're gonna Stifle this? Just do it. Just do it, man. He's got it. Oh, okay. At least we still get our 2-1 in play, so it's really not the end of the world. The world has not ended yet. I'm gonna put this on the stack. Meow. And then we're gonna telegraph a Bowmasters. I think we're gonna play this right now, when it's least likely to get counterspelled. Again, his deck doesn't play board wipes. It just plays bullshit. So if they show and tell this turn, we're kind of fucked though. Ooh, they didn't. A gift from above. Let's go to combat. do have a Surveil land still in my deck, so I think I should take advantage of that. See what's on top before I make my decision. There's nothing on top. It's a nothing burger. I could put Lurrus in my hand. That wouldn't do anything. I could play Needle on the One Ring. Shifting Woodland is not going to do anything right now. They could be playing like a new card like Cash Grab. That's an instant. Like hit the perfect thing off of it, and like it would tilt me off the face of the planet. Am I supposed to name the One Ring or shift here, guys? I think I'm going to name the One Ring. Also, just might get countered. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Alright, you get a little extra mana. Unfortunately, we don't have a kill this turn unless like a cool card like Goblin Bombardment shows up. I wanted to name the ring. Cheater. Alright. I'm not actually bad, guys. Don't worry. I'm chilling. We're just playing some Timeless. We're hanging out. Cool. Alright, we can't gain life this turn, so unfortunately no cat trigger. We are hopefully going to have enough attackers and blockers to kill him next turn if they don't chain rings here. It hit. Ooh. Tony? Be careful. Oh, we did it! We beat him! Oh my god. Yeah, I had fun. I had fun. Okay. I'm so out of it. We have time for one more in the video? Yeah, let's do one more. I'll take 2 minutes to recover between games. This is too much for me. Alright. Oh, we didn't get Tony. I would have lost it if we got him 3 times in a row. We're going first. We got Monkey on the play. I'm not going to think anymore. I think I'm out of brain cells after that. Last 4 or 5 games against Tony. Was it a 2-0 his favor, then a 2-0 my favor? Actually, I think it was only 4 games in the 2 matches. No, he won the Atraxa game. Oh, okay. We're against a blue gamer. We're casting Brainstorm on our first main. We don't have a way to shuffle, but we do have a way to put a card on top so that Ragavan hits it. So, you know, this is shuffling with extra steps, really. Oh, I love Timeless. This is my favorite format for a reason. It's those silly games like our last one that really makes it fun. Alright, let's go ahead and smack them. My dearest opponent, you are being smacked. Polarity on top, okay. We're just gonna play Goblin Bombardment around Counterspell and then also jam the Pride just to get as many 1-drops on the board as possible. And then next turn we'll be able to attack backed up by removal spells. Looks good. Alright, your turn, opponent. I get to untap. Always good. Go to combat. Attack for both. They get to hit both of them? Both of my little 1-drops going the distance today. Okay. I think we take it, right? You gotta keep in mind that we can't flip her, because then it goes to my opponent's control, but we can take her just as something that attacks and blocks and makes clues. It attacks for 0, but it does make clues when it attacks. You know, it's a Magic the Gathering card that has text on it. We'd also just like sack it to Bombardment, which is funny. Put Lurrus into our hand here. We're not going to need to hold up removal against this deck. This is either Wizard control or Jeskai control. A lot of people have been playing like a Wizard control list, which seems pretty fun. I don't know if it's good, but they're playing like Flare of Denial with Snapcaster Mage, and okay, sure. They didn't see a board wipe at the top view. I mean, you could have taken one more draw step to see the board wipe, but whatever. Against them, I think we take the Swords or Discharges or Prisons out. I think we want to keep Prison because they're probably playing like the One Ring and Friends. I don't know. Is this the... I wish I knew, man. If this was Jeskai Control or if this is the funny Wizard version. Because against Jeskai Control, we need Flage answers, but against the funny Wizard version, we just need Hand Hate. I think it's the cool new Wizard version, so let's like go down on Discharges. Just play the deck like this. Let me play Swords over Discharge just to hedge that if it is Flage, we need to be able to remove that. Is that correct? Yeah, we could play a Hearse since they're probably playing Snapcaster in either deck and using the graveyard a little bit. And then the last card can just be any removal spell. We can make it pending, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because we'll have targets against any deck that we're up against. Yeah, I like this. Let's send it back. Ooh, Needle. Needle for Ring, Teferi, Jace if they're playing that godforsaken card. Now we'll keep it like this. Alright, we got one drop backed up by Thoughtseize. It's about all you can ask for in life, really. Let's go ahead and play it. For that first turn, I'm happy to make them have the answer over Thoughtseizing them. Ooh. Looks like somebody just wants to hold up mana drain mana and do nothing else with their turn. It would be a shame if their opponent just passed and played Orcish Bowmasters. It would be a real damn shame. So we can go ahead and bow here. This is getting countered, but when it does, we get 2 Thoughtseize Goblin Bombardment, and the game's kind of over at that point. It's a snare, means they could still have Drain. I'm not happy with that, but let's go ahead and Thoughtseize to hopefully clear the way for Bombardment, or maybe even Raptor to resolve. What we got here. Snap, snap, bolt, bolt, bolt. Great. Honestly, quite incredible. Well, the good news is that my Bombardment resolves. They're also, like, don't have red mana. Guess I'm gonna take a snap. What a weird hand, man. Don't keep hands like that, guys. I'm taking psychic damage. So we can just resolve this Amp Traptor while we can, or we can make the same argument for Bombardment. I think we're best to just put Power and Toughness on the board right now. And Amp Traptor is a good way to get a lot of Power and Toughness on the board as fast as possible. Hopefully this can hit another threat. Tiny chance it hits like one of the removal spells we left in, and that would kind of suck. Oh, Bowmaster is great. Okay, well, okay. You know what? I said I was kind of done after the Tony game. I'm glad we got an easy one. Alright, that was a fun day with energy. We won some games. We got stifled in another game. But I hope everybody enjoyed. I'm going to go take a break from Timeless. I'm losing it.